Yeah, g'day everyone. Obviously, very thankful. First up, just real quick to Mark for giving us a bit of support in the moderation department.
Yep.
Jake, making a change today, mate.
Ooh.
Peroni for a change.
Peroni.
Is that Italian?
So I'm all out of Heineken. I had a couple of these at the back of the fridge, so I thought I'd bust one of these open. Got to have something. So cheers, mate. But yeah, just to build on obviously the awesome live stream that we had a couple of weeks ago on Keep On Collecting. We had a lot of fun with that. So we want to try and do this as long as you guys are comfortable doing it every other week. And we'll mix it around between the channels of who's hosting. But
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys will agree. I mean, I for one was just had a great time doing that stream, but was also blown away by the amount of comments and participation that we had. I really wasn't ready for that. I was prepared for us four to have a bit of a chat, and then if we had a couple of people pop in along the way, that'd be awesome. But so obviously the first one on my channel, don't know to what extent we'll get the same level of involvement or close to it, but in any case, appreciate Mark, a live stream veteran, giving us a bit of a hand just in case we do get some comments and I get too focused on my Peroni and chatting with you guys to make sure that we're acknowledging them. So yeah.
And he's multitasking, which is pretty impressive. He's walking down to the post office.
Oh, how about that?
I know.
Good on you, Mark.
Watch where you're going, mate.
I wonder if he's going to take a trip to Fantastic Planet and finish off that video for us.
Forbidden Planet?
Forbidden Planet, that's it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it Forbidden Planet?
Yeah, it's Forbidden Planet. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, he did a video and it didn't quite finish. Andrew and I were watching it and just ended. And
he just cut off. I just go, there's something wrong with the internet, but no, it's the end of the video.
I was wondering if security grabbed him and threw him out of the store. He's going tomorrow.
Yeah.
So how are you blokes going? How was the weekend? Anything interesting happen or any new arrivals in the mail or what's going on?
Yeah, well, Andrew and we went off and did a bit of a toy hunt, best you can these days.
Oh, you did, of course.
Yeah, we kept annoying you two, and hey, look at this.
Yeah,
I was loving it. I was living vicariously.
We went to see Jurassic World as well. So,
how did you find that?
Share those thoughts later.
Yeah,
it was, so sort of thing, but. We hunted a lot of dinosaurs, didn't we, Matt?
There was a lot of dinosaurs there.
Yeah, so we got some dinosaurs.
Muzza, g'day. Welcome.
Hey,
Muzza.
Welcome.
Now, we found out that Muzza actually is just up the road from me. He's in Newcastle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
really
cool.
Surprised. It's awesome.
I like that.
What about you, Ryan? How was your
Yeah, it's pretty good weekend. Just got the kids in early and went and caught up one of my friends, Andrew, who I know through work, and he had a couple of vintage toys that he was wanting to sell. So it's pretty good.
Nice.
That's pretty much what I got.
Oh, okay, just a couple, eh?
Yeah.
Just a couple of box loads.
Yeah.
A couple of box loads, that's right.
Do you want to see what I got?
Yeah.
Let's get it out. While you do, I just want to say g'day to the Totally Taylor crew.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, Dean, who was in the line with us at Collecticon Campbelltown.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Dean, both obviously Dean's a collector like all of us. But Dean's wife is also gets in on the fun. She collects vintage Disney stuff and all sorts of other items like vinyl and all sorts of fun stuff. Like they just posted a photo on their Instagram of the Pizza Hut Land Before Time hand puppets, which I know you guys all know. So definitely get along and follow Totally Taylor Retro Hunters on Instagram. Well worth a follow.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Ryan, let's see what you got, mate.
Okay, I'll just do a couple of things. So give me a sec.
Yeah, go for it.
Wow.
Fantastic plastic today.
These are for you.
For me,
Yeah. You like these, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Mate, that's what I was just talking about. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
With Totally Taylor. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, I can't look at them without thinking about like the era of dine-in restaurants at Pizza Hut. You know what I mean? Like, you know how good that was? Like,
yeah, they're pretty cool.
Hey,
the
Phil.
red booths,
Yeah.
the red cups, the crushed ice, the works bar, and
When I see that, I want a gingerbread man.
Yeah.
Need the gingerbread man. That's what we want.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I'll have to get you up here then. We've got the last remaining Pizza Hut restaurant up here in the Central Coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gosh,
Last
they
one.
still do like...
They're
Sorry,
few and far between these days.
Yeah. I think it's the only
Can you
one.
still do like a all you can eat pizza or like lunch and dinner? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
It's just the way it was. It's just amazing.
Yeah. What I might do is I'll just grab a crate and then I can just show you a couple of things if you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
That's a
go.
good idea. Look at this. He's out of control.
He has a problem. I mean, we all do. Let's face
We
it.
all do. What's he got?
So I got some turtles. Go. Another one.
Oh, foot soldier.
Footy.
Foot soldier. Inspector Gadget.
Yep.
See that?
The
Nice.
just a
Got some Jurassic Park as well.
Grant.
Yep. Man of the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park dinosaur.
Oh wow.
Spitter.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Is
Dilophosaurus.
that like a rubber? Is the beard or is the kind of frill like rubber or what? I've always wondered on that figure.
Plastic, isn't it?
It's like plastic, but it does feel kind of like a rubber sort of one. So
And you lose it because it slips off.
Yeah,
It slips off.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so
just
I've
like a
got.
piece.
Yeah, that's what gets lost in the with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I might have to help you guys out with a Petrie. I think I might have a spare one. I'll have a dig.
Is that Bebop or Rocksteady? I can't remember.
Yeah. It's...
And there's the other one.
Yeah.
I think it's Bebop.
So yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg of kind of what I got. Yeah, it's
Thundercat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sleeth or Slife or something.
Sleeth, yeah.
It is.
How awesome is just like a mixed tub like that when you just get your hands on a bulk lot of all mixed stuff?
Oh, two of them.
2 spikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
there you go.
That's exactly it. It's like when you guys were little, like I don't know how you managed your your childhood collection, but some people obviously had toys in their room. For me, it was we always had a rumpus room wherever I lived when I was little, and it was just like a toy box in the rumpus room, and everything just got thrown in there. Like it's no wonder accessories went missing. It was
we
just
were
the
the
toy
same.
box, everything got chucked in.
Yeah, it was just a spare back room in a parent's place, and it had a round tub, and it was just full of toys. Our toys, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We had I think, I don't know, my brother, he was a little bit precise, so this is why we've still got the Scout Walker in its box, because it would get played with and he'd put it back in the box every single time.
Really?
And we played a lot, and he said, this is why I've still got the box there with it in it. All our G.I. Joes were separate with all the accessories and the file cards. Well, that's why I've still got it. They were all kept separately, but in bags separately. So we just kind of went plonk and played. Yeah. A bit more
that's
organised.
Awesome. Yeah. It's so good that like you actually kept the box, and you know what I mean. It wasn't just discarded when you first opened it, like it was for me. I didn't even clip out file cards for action figures that I had as a kid. I just threw the whole card back away. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why we kept them. I think because we wanted to know more about, especially for G.I. Joes, because they came with a bit of file card and a story on each, and we're just fascinated by that. So we kept all of them, and So yeah, and most of the accessories lasted throughout those years. So still got them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I think I'll need to set them up in the toy room. Actually, just a lot of people seem to swap things around in their toy room. I think it's time that I take that approach and move something out.
Mix it up a bit.
Yeah, for display, make it fresh. But it was
That's
but yeah, my brother, he just did that, and I don't know why, but he just did it. It's great.
Oh, well, good on him. You're benefiting today from the fact that you still got the box and accessories. That's awesome.
Yeah, who keeps boxes? Crazy.
Really?
Yeah, he was Jake. He was.
Well, speaking of chopping and changing things in the toy room, I was having a chat with Ryan the other day. I've been doing a bit of reorganizing in the toy room because something pretty interesting happened to me in the last couple of weeks. I actually got an email from basically a freelance writer from Domain, the property newspaper magazine brand.
Yeah.
And basically, this writer got my details from Alfie and Opal at Alfie's Vintage Toys, who we all know, and Ryan, who you'll meet next month.
Yeah.
Because the Domain were essentially looking to put together an article on people that have kind of unusual collections in their homes and stuff like that. And the writer was looking for someone who collected vintage toys, who was kind of in the Sydney metro area, who wouldn't mind doing an interview and doing a photo shoot to include in a bit of an article. And look, I'm sure it's a very small piece, and I know I've been told that it's like sponsored by NRMA, so I'm sure it's like a sponsored piece around contents insurance about things that you care about in your home and so on. But one of the reasons I've been trying to get the room organized is because I had the interview on the weekend with a lovely lady named Bridget who's writing the article. It was supposed to be like a 20-minute conversation, but I mean, she had to kind of wrap it up after about 45 minutes because you guys know me and people watching might know me when someone starts asking me about vintage toys and how, why do you love them so much? And, how did you start and so on and so forth? And what lines do you collect and whatnot? I just keep going. And tomorrow morning I've got the photo shoot. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wow.
So I'll try and get my hands on some of those photos so I can share them at this end. So I mean, it's been a busy few days for me trying to get organized because, like, my collection room, when I'm in the mode of getting it set up and doing a video and so on, I keep it pretty organized. But it's been a while since I've done a collection room to a video, and as a result, like, the room had just been full of mailer boxes and stuff that I'd received that I'd gone, you know what? Similar to Ryan, but I just try and keep it out of frame. So I was sending pictures, like the other night I was sending some pictures to Ryan saying, "Oh, mate, I completely forgot that I got this, but because it's been sitting in a box because I'm waiting to do a video on it, and I forgot about it." So anyway, so that's
it was a Mighty Max and Crash Test Tommies, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, all those things will be in videos, but for the purpose of tomorrow, I just had to try and just get as much as I could on display.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. That'll be good.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, hence I really haven't done much on the next video. I shot it last weekend, but when your video came out, Ryan. But I haven't even started editing it just because I've been getting those sorted. So
that's really cool. You have to send us a link when it comes out, the article comes out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm assuming it's just going to be a small online piece, but still pretty cool. Like, if I can get my hands on some like professional shots of some of the stuff in the collection, I think that'd be pretty awesome. So
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, so that'll be good.
What was Penmanovic? Is that how you pronounce it? He's a regular visitor.
I've always wanted to know. We need the phonetic spelling of Penmanovic's YouTube name.
What his name is.
or what his name is, exactly.
Yeah, cool.
What's your real name, mate?
He comes out with some classic comments as well. He's always commenting and just a great sense of humor.
Always original comments, yeah.
And
always having a laugh. It's good.
He had one there about he had all these boxes as well, but they all got chucked out by his parents when they divorced.
Yeah, that's sad.
Parents.
Put photos of your collection in your collection room.
That's right.
Make it look bigger.
That's what I need to do. I need to get just a green screen and just
That's
have
right.
a picture behind it.
Exactly.
I reckon, Scott, actually, those. Remember, you showed him in your last video.
Now we know. Sorry, Andrew. Sorry, buddy.
That's all right. You showed him in the last video with it in the toy hunt at Campbelltown, and they were those TMT cells. You know,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
those animation cells. I reckon a couple of them in a frame would look really good at your place.
Yeah, animation cells are awesome. Like, it's cool that you see them more and more now.
Yeah.
At toy fairs, because it would be pretty awesome to just to get some, maybe a bit of a mix of characters, like a Motu animation cell or a real Ghostbusters animation cell, a TMNT one.
Bit of everything.
Bit of everything, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That'd be cool.
So I like
it's
that.
like when we went to Canberra and we found the old film of young Indiana Jones.
Oh, that was wild.
That's incredible. Like in its steel case, and I can't remember how much that was, but to just see that in a shop, like in Australia,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, you just
did it have a certificate or anything, or was it just?
I think it did. Did it?
Yeah.
I think it did. We'll have to watch Scott's video.
Yeah, I can't recall. It may have. But yeah, it's just the kind of thing you don't see every day. Like, it's just the kind of obscure thing. Like, as an indie collector, it'd be something that would be pretty awesome to stumble across and add to your collection.
Yeah. I didn't know they did Mighty Duck figures.
Yeah, they did.
I've got one in the shed. I went in the garden shed.
Has it been bought? Is that why you've locked it in there?
Yeah, I sort of those things. I went, and it's like a motorbike thing with the figure, and it's in the box.
Yep. Okay.
The box is pretty, and for some reason I've just kept it in the shed.
Yeah.
Where all the tools are. Haven't brought it inside.
It doesn't even make the house, let alone the collection room.
Yeah, they did the cartoon series Mighty Ducks, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's what it's based on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the figures are based on the animated series, not the film. Or the
90s, is it? Or is it past that?
90s.
Yeah, it was in the 90s.
I'm pretty sure it's 90s.
90s, okay. Yeah, it's actually they're hard to come across now, aren't they? The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, I haven't seen them. I haven't seen many of them. I never had any growing up.
Don't give Ryan ideas.
Throne room.
Dear.
Yes.
Well, I'm just reading some of these comments.
Yeah, when I posted on Instagram that Body Wars playset.
Yep.
Andrew, you know the Body Wars playset?
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted it on Instagram and Ryan commented like, "Oh, how cool is that?" And I'm thinking, "Oh no, now I'm gonna have to compete with Ryan when we see other Body Wars stuff pop up locally."
They're really odd, aren't they? You know,
they are really cool. Ryan, can you let me have that one?
Yeah, you can have that one
for now.
It's all good.
we have to make deals with him, Ryan.
I know.
I've got to go and buy this. Can you just hold off on that? Don't go buy it, Ryan. Don't.
To be fair, I don't blame Ryan. Like, there's so many cool toy lines out there, and it's without trying, without making a conscious decision, you start narrow, and before you know it, you're collecting everything. Like it. The only things I don't collect are the things that like I really don't care for. Like I totally miss the boat, or they just don't kind of resonate with me. Pretty much everything else that I think is kind of cool is like fair game.
That's it.
Should I open a couple of packets because I've only got 2? So
let's go for it. Yeah, Lee's saying, Ryan, you probably got a Mighty Duck or 2 in those crates.
Yeah. I'll stay tuned, hey. I might have a little video on that one. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
The Taylors are asking about the hardest action figure line you've started collecting. I'm assuming like the hardest to come by.
In our collections.
I'd probably say I'll start off probably Toxic Crusaders because there's not many in Australia, so you kind of have to like source them from America or England. That's kind of what I've found. But yeah.
What about you, Matt?
Oh, I think Supernaturals, Scott. I think they've few and far between, like complete. There's parts, there's odd figures, loose and not complete. So
like
to find a complete one.
To get a bulk lot of Supernaturals to like get you started would be awesome. Because then you can kind of piece things together. I would probably say Dino Riders. Like I don't collect Dino Riders specifically because I can't find any. I mean, I've got a couple of, but again, just like Supernaturals and kind of like Toxic Crusaders, when I do find stuff, it's always incomplete. And there's so many parts that it's just so hard to piece together complete examples.
It's got to put the shiver up my spine every time because I had a mate I work with. I still know him. I've got his number. And he's got the entire Dino Riders collection.
Wow.
Even the weapons are still on the sprues. And he said you could have the whole lot for $800. And at the time I went, I don't know. Now it's probably worth about $8,000.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. And I saw him in the shops not so long ago, and I said, "Oh, you interested in selling those Dino Riders?" And he goes, "Not for the price I offered it to you for."
No.
You know,
he wised up. I've got to say g'day to Richard Milling. Thanks for dropping in, mate. 4:22 a.m. in San Diego.
Wow.
Appreciate you saying g'day.
Hey, Richard.
We really appreciate that, Richard. 4:22.
He's a good man. Richard shared some photos on Instagram with me today of his collection, and it's awesome. He, like me, doesn't have the luxury of a lot of space, and it's all set up inside closets. So you open up wardrobes, and it's all lit up again. Filling a wardrobe. So I'll share those photos with you guys.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Well, that's a bit like Phil. When Phil was showing his collection in Japan, it was a lot of it was inside cupboards as well. I noticed.
Yeah.
That's right.
Looks like Andrew's got something there. What do you got there?
Yeah, it's not a flashlight. It's a it's the Kraken. It's the Kraken from
Is that what they're calling it these days?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah, so because I got the ships, and I wanted to do a video on them. I want to take the ships out of the boxes, and they did a Kraken. This one was for the animated series apparently, and it was for a bigger figure. I think about a 5-inch, something like that. Because the other ones are only like 3 3/4, and but this would be in scaled. It's made by the same company. Zazzle made it. Zizzle?
Okay.
Zizzle Rizzle, yeah. And anyway, it would be good with the boat because it'd be more in scale to the ship.
The ship. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's obviously it opens up and closes, and you can put the figure inside and things like that because it's got the teeth. I really like that scene actually at the end of the first film where it come up and it ate him. But that wasn't it. I looked at when I saw it because I grabbed it and went because I haven't seen one. And there was only like one on Australian and one in America. And so I went, I'll grab that. It was just one of those random Sunday night type things you see. Yeah, I'll just buy that. Because I didn't have one, so that's it. So that's from Pirates of the Caribbean. And squid eyes there. You can see the squid eyes there. But that'll go good with the ship. So when I do a video and a review, I'll have that attacking the ship.
That's awesome. It's a little bit different to the other Kraken we saw recently on your guys' channel. But I love the Pirates of the Caribbean films.
That's his cousin.
Yeah, that's his cousin. and there's at least a dodgy adult collectible. A different kind of adult toy.
Yeah.
And so the next box, I'll have to show you the box first. I showed you guys before we went live, but I was very amazed that this guy, he put pictures on the outside of the shipping box. So you got the first Doctor there. Yeah, I think that was from the life story of Hartnell from Doctor Who, and on the side. Obviously a Doctor Who fan, and another on the side, but just on the mailing box. Yeah, so I'll open it up, and because I know it's not Doctor Who. It's
that's
that's why I was sort of amazed. I have to cut through the pictures.
I would have expected that Doctor Who if there was Doctor Who picture. But,
yeah, I just assumed it was Doctor Who.
Maybe it was a ploy that no one will steal it because. I don't need that box.
While Andrew whips that open, going back to the question on like hard to find or difficult to collect toy lines.
Visionaries. Yeah.
So obviously, totally Taylor have mentioned Visionaries. Yep. Mark from Blue Harvest mentioned $6 Million Man. Do you guys collect either of those lines? And have you found difficulty in collecting them if you do?
Well, I know with the $6 Million Man, I mean, Matt and I have got one, and Matt's got this $6 Million Woman. I have, but Matt's in a really good condition. I know that in that line, things like he battled this. It was like not the robot, it was like that robot that had the claws on the front.
Yeah.
It was cool. Is it Maskatron you're thinking of?
No, not Maskatron. It was an episode. It was like it was just like a Mars rover, but it looked like a Dalek, and it had these claws on the front, and it went crazy, and he had to battle it on Earth because it went crazy before it went on the planet. But I've never ever seen one in real life. Yeah, never. It's just so there is certain things in the $6 million range that are really hard to get. But
yeah, it's not. They're very hard to come by. Complete anything.
Yeah, I think like Visionaries, I haven't really seen any in Australia, and if you do, as I said, they're off loose or they're missing the hologram, like for the chest piece or the accessory. Yeah. Another series I was thinking is hard to get is the Centurions, like the large figures.
Yeah.
In the 80s, and they had like all the different accessories, like the helmet and the rockets and stuff. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get these open. Sorry, but they're stands. But what it is, I mean, I'm because I've got the Black Hole, the movie. I don't know if Ryan and Scotty, you're familiar with the Disney Black Hole movie?
Yeah, I remember watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, just another sort of. I got the Mego ones, but I haven't got one robot out of it. So, but they did a couple of new figures, just the two robots, sort of thing. So there's.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, so
that's Vincent?
That's Vincent, yeah. So it comes with different accessories and guns you can put in them, but they're really detailed. Look at that. It's got the little TV in the center. It had like a little TV that had the little things that go like an oscilloscope type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Vincent. And they've got stands. They come with stands. Some good stands that you can stand them up on. I get the other one.
He probably got them from Ryan.
It was a good price, really good price because they were loose. And the other one, which is the one I'm going about, is Old Bob, and he's like the older version. He's all smashed up in the movie, and so I had that one in the Mego line, and it was thrown out when I was a kid. And to get it in a Mego one now, I'm looking at 3,000, 4,000.
Wow!
for an action figure that was sold in Australia for 50 cents. So
what the heck? So is that an original from like the 1970s?
No. These are the 70s ones were a small scale of 3 3/4. These look like about probably 2.5 inch.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the 3 3/4 one in scale was smaller. So but that's quite nice. The detail on them is really good.
Do you know who makes them, Andrew?
Pardon?
Do you know who makes them?
Who was it?
Or?
I'm not sure if it's
NECA.
NECA. It's something I have to look up on
Someone may know
Google
out there watching. They may tell us.
But also for some reason he threw in a Wall-E toy.
Oh. Can't go wrong with
an actual toy or a squeezy thing.
No, it's a toy. It's a little rolly toy one. But I have got talking about Wall-E. I have got him in the action figure with it. So they did at the time. But one thing that sold and came out was I don't know if you remember the film. I mean, it's a kids' film, but it had the garbage truck that he went into.
Oh yeah,
and I've actually got the garbage truck.
Shut
they
up.
did, and but anyway, it's Wall-E.
You found it in the discount aisle, like it was just like, oh yeah, it's had its run. Let's flog it off for $10 or whatever you got it for.
All right, man, I'll give you this one. It's a compensation one. There you go.
That look a gift horse in the mouth, I guess.
But yeah, I mean that's just a couple of things. I really like those these black hole ones. I love the film because I went to the movies when I was a kid and saw it in the 70s. So
yeah, it's pretty.
Parents took me and saw it, and it's quite violent. It turned out to be. And very, very violent and dark for a Disney film. So you have to catch that one.
It's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
There have been a few Disney films that have been uncharacteristically dark, though. Like, I was reading about or watching a video about a Disney animated film, The Black Cauldron. You guys familiar with that one?
I haven't seen that one.
I seen it way back when it was released in the 80s, but I can't remember it really well.
Yeah, I mean, from what I read or from what I was hearing, the final film was scaled back a lot in terms of the violence and darkness, but it's essentially like the antagonist is called the Horned King. He's kind of like a Disney animated version of Skeletor, like leading an army of skeletons up from the dead and stuff like that. It sounds awesome, but it sounds like I need to try and get my hands on like the original cut before Michael Eisner, who was in charge at the time, from what I understand, pared back all of the darkness. It sounds kind of interesting, but it's always fascinating when these kind of films come out under Disney.
It's on Disney Plus. So I wonder what version you're going to get. Yeah, wonder what version you're going to get.
It'll be censored. A lot of the Disney films from the past are censored on on the Disney channel. Yeah. Okay. Even The Simpsons are censored on the
I'll look
Disney
it up,
channel.
Scott. I may have it on DVD actually. So I'll have a look around for you. I'm a big nerd, and I collected all the Disney movies, all those animated ones, all the way through from whenever.
There's so many of them.
There is
the classic ones, yeah. But yeah, someone mentioned Captain Power in the chat.
Yeah, I've never seen Captain Power before.
Power. Sometimes get confused with him and Captain Planet, but Captain Planet was more environmental.
That's right. That was
message.
in the 90s. Yeah.
I'm familiar with Captain Power.
No, I'm not familiar either.
What kind of toy collector am I? Captain Power. But I've heard of it, and I think they've got them in Alfie's. They've got a couple in Alfie's.
Okay.
Captain Power?
Oh, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Captain Power, jeez.
Something to look out for on our next visit.
Just going to do a quick search on it.
A little bit of interest. I contacted Alfie and Opal just the other day about a figure that they had threw up on Instagram, and it was a Predator. It was I think it was a reissue Predator from the Kenner line. How they're redoing them. Anyway, Opal messaged me today and sort of said, look, you need to, if you're going to buy this figure, you need to buy it in the next 2 days or it's going to go into the museum because the Australian toy standards are changing on June 22nd. And due to the battery cover, we need to remove it from the shelves. And I went, what the hell is she talking about? But apparently, so I looked it up and apparently, these... A child back in 2013 died from one of those round batteries, that you put in toys.
Like the watch battery?
Yes. So they choked. They didn't choke on it. They swallowed it, and it basically killed the child. Yeah. And so, based on that, they've changed the Australian standards Kmart, Woolworths, Kmart, Big W, Target, all these places that have toys have had to remove and recall all these toys prior to Wednesday's standards that change on these battery covers.
But the change in standards apply to vintage toys as well.
Well, that's what I was wondering, and it mustn't. I don't understand why it wouldn't, but because they're sort of sitting in...
It only be to new toys.
It's new toys.
Yeah, it wouldn't be to vintage ones.
Is it? Empty Cup's asking if it's Laser Shot Predator. Is that it?
It might be. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. So I don't know why Predator would need a battery, but it must be.
It's because it's got an electronic element to it. I think it's like got a laser eye or something. Or
Because I've got a few of the original ones and I can't remember them having batteries. So it must be the one. I'd have to look it up, but it just blew me away a little bit.
Empty Cup also asking if any of you guys remember Snailians.
No,
no, it's not something I'm familiar with either.
Is it
like alien snails?
Alien snails.
I don't know. It sounds interesting. It sounds interesting though.
So I found a photo. Sorry, that's a photo of the Captain Power figures.
Oh yeah.
Is that the complete line, or you're not sure?
That's just some of them. Kind of reminds me of like Silverhawks. I think that was another.
Well, speaking of which, Richard's in the chat asking whether any of you guys collect Silverhawks, or what's your take on it? How's that for a segue?
That was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have any Silverhawks, but I guess like Visionaries. I guess if I was able to buy a bulk lot or something, I'd probably give it a go. But I think they look pretty cool. They got like the chrome armor and stuff on them.
I love the look of them, to be honest. I've actually got a Silverhawk to unbox in here from Greeny's Toys, so I'll get into that shortly. But Richard, I reckon Silverhawks look awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Andrew, Matt, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Silverhawks, but it's a lot of it. I think Ryan, were they made by Kenner, or maybe Richard can chime in on the chat? I think they might have been made by Kenner.
I think they're either Kenner or I'm not too sure.
But it's a lot of like the good guys, at least as far as I'm aware, are kind of in these jumpsuits, but they're all vac metal, chromed in silver or different colors. There's a look at the Snailians.
So that's Snailians there. Oh, maybe they're in the era of Battle Beasts and...
I've never seen them before.
No. Sorry, that's...
I'm not familiar with them.
That's why we have these things. This is find out a lot of information.
Yeah, exactly. That's so cool.
Wow.
But yes, Silverhawks are really cool.
Yeah,
like lots of vac metal, and I don't know. Are you guys familiar with a Batman figure that I believe came out around about the time of the 1989 film that had an action feature where you squeezed his legs and his arms shot up and he had fabric wings? So that's essentially a repurposing of a pretty iconic Silverhawks play feature where all these chromium, jumpsuit figures with wing, when you'd squeeze their legs together and out would pop their arms with the wings. But they had a lot of villains that had crazy sculpts and crazy colors and all that sort of stuff. So
definitely, yeah. Well, that's a good question. Were they ever sold in Australia? I mean, I can't remember seeing them. Does anyone know what year? Like 87? 86, 87.
I don't remember seeing them.
I think because I guess I look at it as like Andrew and I, as children, we would have been covered the 70s and early 80s. And by 80, maybe 86, 87, like we're 15 and not overly interested in too many toys. Whereas both of you are more later, like a little bit later, a couple of years later, you're getting into toys around those Ninja Turtles. Yeah. And so there could have been in that gap period where there's just, for us as a unit, we've missed out.
There you go, 1987.
87, yeah. Thanks, Lee. Yeah.
I don't know if even there was the cartoon was here, was it?
Doesn't ring any bells.
I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, because I still watch cartoons then, even then when I was in the teens and you know, Saturday morning and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't remember the Silverhawks though. But
well, here's my Silverhawks figure.
Alrighty, show us. Yeah,
this guy's Monster.
Wow.
So if Richard's still in the chat, he can probably tell me. But as far as I'm aware, this is one of the villains. And yeah, so the villains have a very different look about them. They don't have the chrome with the wings and all that. They're just like crazy looking monsters and but yeah, I mean this guy's mad. I literally got this guy I got this guy on a Greenie's Toys auction. Shout out Greenie's Toys. But what tends to happen, like I'm pretty sure I mentioned before, like toy auctions on Facebook to me like going to a toy fair where I'll go there with something in mind, and if I don't find it, or if I get outbid and I'm not prepared to pay the prices that things are going to on the toy lines that I really collect, then I just end up buying stuff that I think that's cool. That would make a cool addition to my collection if I think it's a good price. And I know Silverhawks are, excuse my language, but rare as rocking horse shit here in Australia. So I just thought, you know what? I think this guy was about $50. I just thought, you know what? I want to get something out of this. I've sat here on a Thursday night, for a couple of hours, missing out on my turtles. Jump on this guy. So Monster, Silverhawks.
That's so cool. He looks really nice and clean as well, Scott.
And he's in really nice condition. Like I'm not holding my breath on finding too many more of these Silverhawks figures, but this guy will display this guy's complete, so good to go. Wow. There's a little starting point, but he does have a play feature where, oops.
I've lost that accessory.
Oh, you just lost an accessory.
Oh, okay. He's got a head flipping play feature. So,
cool.
His chest plate's gone flying, but I'll get that later. So yeah, we go from like that head there to more of an animal kind of head. So anyway,
that's pretty cool. I've never seen that before. Yeah,
bit of random 80s action.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think Phil's got a point there. 87 is probably G.I. Joe's because I guess as kids we played. It was based around the 3 3/4 line because we loved Star Wars, and yeah, we had Masters, but we had lots of G.I. Joes and Star Wars, Buck Rogers, Battlestar, Lone Ranger, but they were all 3 3/4. So if these had come out and we'd seen them, we probably just would have rolled our eyes and moved on because they were out of scale to what we played with, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's my
scale was,
yeah.
Scale seems to be somewhat connected to eras, doesn't it? Like there's the preeminent scale of the time. When you get into the 90s, it's a lot of like 4 and 5 inch figures and stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel that was kind of the standard size going forward. A lot of toy lines, mainly Kenner.
What size is that one, Scott? 6, 7 inch?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
it looks about 6.
So there's Casey Jones. So yeah, maybe 6 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he's a pretty big. There's a bit of heft to him.
Yeah, but he might be bigger than the other figures in the Silverhawks line too. He might be just a bit taller.
I get this. I get the sense that's the case. Like I think he was supposed to tower over the actual Silverhawks, the good guys.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Empty Cup asking about G.I. Joe in the UK.
What is if Mark was here, he could probably answer that question.
I seem to recall what Phil's saying in the UK, wasn't it called Action Force? I thought that was the case, but I don't know for certain.
Yeah, I think it was called Action Force as opposed to G.I. Joe. I'm not sure the history of it, why, but
is that because it was maybe released by Palitoy?
I believe so.
Yeah,
that's where the G.I. Joe experts come in handy. They can tell you a bit of history.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
behind
I know Mark was listening while he was having a bit of a charity store hunt, so he might chime in and just confirm what the case is there, because no doubt he'll be clear on the G.I. Joe in the UK. And Lee's again commenting on scale.
Yeah, the Galoob fan. What, he must have been only just a little bit bigger, I guess.
Is that the one that sat in the chair, Matt?
That's the Defenders of the Earth, because they were by Galoob.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm just going to reach over and excuse my back, but I'll get it. Must have been close.
Yeah, from Defenders of Earth.
Yeah.
So, let's have a look. Oh yeah.
I've only got the movie one.
Come back. Yeah. So yeah, he's a little bit bigger. What a shame. So Clark's a little bit smaller. What are they? They're about 4 inch. And he must have been closer to 5, I guess.
So what year was Defenders of the Earth? Was that a similar period to Superpowers? Like, was it simultaneously? Or
no? So Superpowers is 80s. So from say 84 to 87, I think it was.
And what about Defenders?
Defenders is dear. Is that early 90s?
90s,
yeah, definitely 90s.
Oh, fair enough.
It'd be on the back of the figure, won't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to look on the arse, but he's got nothing. It's got. Can you believe it's actually hasn't got any?
Not even on the feet. Before G.I. Joe.
Okay.
All right, Lee's saying Defenders is 80s, so that should have a date stamp in the 80s on there.
I've got a knockoff. I thought you were real. No, he doesn't have a date stamp on him.
What about on his feet? What about on his bottom of his feet?
Just nothing, except on his back where his button is.
Yeah.
Is KFE/KFS.
Don't know.
But so what happened was with this one, he was actually on cards. So I've actually got the card still, and just the bubble become unstuck. So I know he's for reals, but yeah, he's got nothing on him to prove otherwise. So we'll take Lee's. We're gonna have to take Lee's lead on that.
Going back to G.I. Joe, Mark has chimed in here. So Action Force came before G.I. Joe.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
But then, hang on. But then when Kenner closed Palitoy, it was amalgamated. So, I mean, I know there's some association there. But I'm not, I wasn't sure as to how it all came together.
Okay, there you go. KFS, okay. King Features Syndicate, which owned the rights to the Phantom. What was that, sorry, Andrew?
Is it a crime gang?
Japanese crime gang.
Yeah, the toy mafia.
Yeah, that makes sense. And King Features Syndicate, yeah, because they have the rights to the Phantom.
I got the movie one when they did the movie, but the figures you got one too in the chair.
Yeah, they're just
and their heads are like they're just rounded like
just woeful.
You got to get that one.
While Matt goes and grabs that, I'll just show you the other item I got from Greenie's Toys.
Yeah.
So the Silver Hawk, at least in the context of my collection, is like real random 80s. Next up,
it looks terrible. Yeah, he looks terrible.
Next up, I've got some real random 90s.
Yeah, so that's from the movie.
Skull.
He's got this like flat face, and
yeah,
he looks terrible. But anyway, but the seat is really cool.
Yeah,
the skulls on it, and
that is awesome.
Yeah,
but the guns had 2 guns with it.
Yeah, he's only got one.
What I did is I took the guns and because the X-Files figures didn't have any guns with them, so I gave him his guns to them.
Did they have many figures from the movie, or?
I think there was. Yeah, we just got the. I just got the one with the chair as well because he just sat down on the chair.
Might have come with a horse.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I think you're right, Matt. There was one with the horse, but the chair was better because
I don't think it was a big line. It doesn't even look like Billy Zane in any way.
No, his face is like really squashed.
Just a flat face, just a round bubble on his head.
They cheaped out on the like
imagery there.
Yeah. But like, I mean, as I said, the chair, that's pretty cool. He's got like a gun belt accessory with his guns, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I've got 2 Phantom figures.
Will either of them fit in the superpowers in the Batmobile?
No, they won't. So it's not going to help Lee any, because I think they're about the same size.
Yeah, that's about the same scale.
It'd be a tight squeeze.
Scale, but he just looks better. Yeah. There you go. That's giving you ideas, Ryan.
Yeah.
Galoob.
Let's try and track down a Phantom.
He's got a note. He's got a notepad there, and he's writing down all these Silver Hawks, Captain Power.
Next question.
They're probably all in his boxes out behind him.
Yeah. You never know.
Grey boxes.
Next question from Empty Cup. What's your personal toy grails? EC wants a TMNT Krang with Android body or a carded Scratch. I think you're more likely to find a Krang's Android body than a carded Scratch. But
the Scratch is hard, is it? Obviously.
But Scratch loose with no accessories is hard. You know, on card. I mean, look, I think you'd be able to get one, but you'd just be paying through the nose on it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the turtle stuff's really gone up in price. Like the channel 6 or the channel 9, not channel 9.
Yeah, the news
van. The news van, the blue one. That's just skyrocketed in price. I'm actually bidding on one in Italy at the moment. It's still about $125 at the moment. So yeah.
How many days to go?
It ends Friday morning, so I will set my alarm at 2 a.m.
I'll check in with you at Friday.
Let's see where we go. Yeah, it doesn't have all the accessories. Missing the door and things like that. But yeah,
what's this for? Sorry, Ryan.
The news van.
Okay. Yeah.
TMNT news van.
Oh, the blue one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, April's news van.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've got in the Canberra, the CVCC, they had the Krang, didn't they, in Android body?
I was talking to Ryan about that.
Yeah, he just didn't have the little bit on his head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it had a couple of things that were keeping me from buying it. Mainly the antenna, because you can replace stickers, but a broken antenna, you can't really just swap that over. So
it's such a small piece, but I guess it was pretty common thing to break on those figures.
For sure. Do you guys have like key grails at the top of the list at the minute? Is there one or 2 items at the top of the list for you guys?
Well, this came up yesterday with us. So when we're at live stream, that's that my Master of the Universe Eternia playset.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
Of course.
I'd really love to get that, and one day, that's my Grail piece.
Yeah,
it's
that'd be cool to have.
It's like the sail barge. I want the HasLab sail barge,
or the flag for you,
or the flag, or the flag of it. It has to be the top one. You know, to get that is just awesome. When I see people and they've got it in behind them and they've got the planes on them, and it's just
that'd be
incredible.
cool.
You know,
We need some serious space for that one,
and some serious money. It's like
and some serious money.
I think a box one goes for like 10 grand or something like that for a flag, and
it's probably the biggest ever playset ever. I reckon. Dungeons and Dragons. Is that Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, yeah, Richard asking if you guys have any Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, got these ones, and
not me, Richard.
No,
it's because we had them as kids as well, right? So we had this set, and there was a goblin and a troll that I'm after that set as well, because they're just what we had as kids, and I'd love to get them back as an adult collector. So yeah, Richard, they were good figures.
Lee telling us Boss Fight Toys coming out with Superpowers Scale Phantom.
Okay.
Finally, Lee. Put in your Batmobile.
Going back to Scratch, EC saying that there's an actual Playmate Scratch prototype on eBay.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to have to go and have a look at that.
Yeah. Wonder how much it's going for.
Well, about 30 grand or so.
Yeah.
Well, they get that in.
That takes me out of the equation.
Yeah.
It's like
Scott.
I've got a printout from the I think it was like 98 or 99 off eBay of an action figure that hadn't finished. I should have printed it out when it was finished. It was from the Black Hole on card. There was a one that never got out in production, and it was sitting on 30 grand US back then.
Wow.
You know, in the 90s, and it had, and that was what it was sitting on. So it had bids on it. So some rich person was bidding on these action figures, and it's hard to believe that some of those things would actually get up that high.
Yeah,
you know, and that's the people have money to drop on it. But
looks like Mark's having some success out on the hunt today.
Wow.
Just bought a box of weapons with some vintage Star Wars. I mean, if that's a charity store find, because I think Mark mentioned he was hitting up some charity stores or thrift stores, op shops. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That's wild.
Incredible.
That's nice.
Si's in the chat. G'day, Si.
Hey, Si.
Hope you're well, mate.
I was going to say, Matt, when you go to Lobo's in Melbourne, they've actually got an Eternia playset there.
Oh yeah, they did. How much was that, Ryan?
I think it was it's like
I was screaming at the TV. Yeah, you got it on there, and I'm like, stop, Ryan, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
I didn't stop.
I can't remember.
I'll stop next time for you. Yeah, I think they want like $3,000, and they kept saying people kept trying to give them lower offers, and they're like not sticking to our guns.
And sorry, was it complete?
So they should. I think it's missing a couple of pieces, but it still looks pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, I think even if you just had the towers and a couple of other parts, it would be amazing to have. Yeah.
But yeah, they had some incredible stuff. They actually had a boxed Supernaturals, like an original box of Supernaturals and Ghostlings sealed. And he was like,
Supernatural figures.
Yeah, the Ghostlings. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, do you want a box? It's like $3,000. I was like, yeah.
Oh, an actual like retail, like
an original retail box. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Simon talking about Bill and Ted's figures.
Yeah.
Definitely close to my heart, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Oh, I love those figures.
I can't find them. Like Scott shows me something, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I'll try and find it. I can't get it.
Yeah, I had to get that lot from overseas though.
Scott Baltimore.
Yep.
So if I see more like loose complete, even if they're overseas at a reasonable price or either in a lot or the same seller selling multiple, because I can't pay like $50 or $80 shipping on one figure. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Silly,
So
isn't it? Yeah.
you need to find a lot, or you need to find the same seller selling multiples that'll do combined shipping.
Combined shipping.
Did you get the phone box at all, Scott?
I haven't. No.
We almost both. I actually shared a really good priced one to Scott a couple of months ago, but yeah,
that loose one.
No, it was a boxed one.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's right. It's sealed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was sealed. I think
I want one that I can open, and I just don't have the heart to open up vintage stuff. Like Matt, Andrew, I've spoken to you guys about my Matchbox Ring Raiders Battle Blaster that I got from the pawn shop here in Sydney. Like, I want to open that, but I'm just like, it's survived 35 years. Like, I can't be the one to bust it out now. You know,
let it breathe. Let it breathe.
I know. If I could find a phone booth that was in box but already opened, or you know,
because then you could display the box with it. Yeah,
exactly. That's how I like to do it.
Yeah, I think I said that, Scott, because I think you had it as a kid, didn't you? And
I did.
Just I think it might be a little bit different if it was something you had as a kid and you wanted just that touchy-feely feeling again, nostalgia. I think it would be worth it.
But the box is only held with one piece of sticky tape.
Yeah, it is.
All you do is just one piece of sticky tape. That's it.
Oh, but hang on, are you talking about the phone booth?
Yeah.
No, the ring.
Yeah,
the ring.
Same story. I'm talking about the Battle Blaster. It's one piece of tape.
Oh, the Ring Raider.
The Ring Raider.
It's one piece of tape. Like I figured that I can always open it, but I can't actually like factory seal it. So I'll wait for another day. You know, like I can always later on go, yes, I'm opening it. I can't go, oh, I wish I didn't open it. You know what I mean?
I haven't opened mine either, Scott. So it's because we didn't have them as kids. So to me, I love the toy line, but and maybe also with space, but I just haven't opened those figures. So I understand in that regard.
Simon talking about the blank from Dick Tracy.
Oh yeah.
That's a definite grail.
You don't have that one, Scott?
Are you? Is that a serious question?
Yeah.
Nah,
Is Ryan learning?
I'm still learning. Okay.
Oh no! I mean that's a figure that, if I remember correctly, I mean I only know that they released it only into one country. Like Ryan, are you familiar with the Dick Tracy line or no?
Only kind of from what you've seen.
So the blank figure was basically a figure that reflected a key plot twist in the film. So when that figure came out, it spoiled the movie, and the figures came out when the film was still in theaters.
Right.
So it came out in one market, then they pulled it because it was spoiled the movie, and they never released it more broadly. So there's very few examples out there.
Okay.
I'm sure Lobos would have one.
Yeah, probably.
But it's really hard to come by.
What's it? Canada, wasn't it? Is that what you said? Canada?
I think Canada. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
That one?
The blank. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, so Madonna with the blank mask on.
Oh, okay. It comes with like a swappy head type thing. Yeah. Wow.
That's a good question.
Modern lines. Does anyone collect modern lines? Not really.
Not me. I'm strictly vintage. I know you guys. I mean, you guys collect some modern stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you collect the Jurassic Park stuff, and you.
Yeah, that's right. Matt and Michael, we collect the Jurassic Park stuff, and I collected the Ninja Turtles, from the Nickelodeon ones.
Yep.
Collected all them because remember, once they're gone, they're vintage, aren't they?
That's true. Eventually,
One way.
I mean, it's like going back to the 80s and saying, I've got this He-Man stuff. Oh, we don't collect that. We only collect vintage toys. So it's once they've had their run, they're vintage. Once they're not in the shop, that's it. And things are hard to get. I mean, even Jurassic Park, those figures, even though they're a new line, some of them are just so impossible to get. They have their run, and then they just become really valuable. But
I think that's a problem. Like, there's been so many times I've gone like those retro wrestling figures I really wanted to get. They're like the Hasbro ones, and they brought out one wave, and just every now and then you see a wave. Origins, Andrew really wanted the Origins. Big W, just they didn't come to the party with releasing them consistently. So it's just really hard.
I managed to get a couple when they're on special, but I don't really have a lot of them.
Yeah. And so they released, I've seen waves released in Queensland, and New South Wales gets nothing. And I don't understand how they do that. It's very hard to collect if they're not giving us complete waves.
Yeah.
You guys collect Motu Origins? Phil's just got his first delivery of Motu Origins.
You
guys
every now and then. Yeah, I've been getting a few. Like, I've got Scare. I've got the Scare Glow, and we've got the Castle Grayskull, Ryan and I, haven't we, Ryan?
Yeah, I got the Castle Grayskull
here.
That
was awesome. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we saw that on the weekend, didn't we, Matt? It was at Toy Mate.
Yeah.
Came in. So
yeah. So I've got a few.
Yeah, I got the Castle Grayskull and about 6 figures, and I've got the Battle Cat as well.
So you guys just buying? Are you guys just buying figures that you like, as opposed to trying to collect the whole line?
Yeah, it's too impossible to. They're just not bringing the stuff out to Australia, and you got to get them from specialty shops mainly. And they're chucking, like, if you got a Big W, they're probably asking about $19, and if you want to get them online from, say, name one, Ryan, that's a good one. Pop Culture.
Pop Culture, yeah, they're like
they're asking $30, $40 for them. So
there's so many different variants as well. So it's just hard to listen to too hard. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. Like, as someone that only collects vintage toys, I often think to myself, well, it's not much of a hunt if you can just go into a retail store and buy it. But it sounds like that's clearly not the case with a lot of these modern, toy lines that are geared towards adult collectors, whether it's here in Australia, but also overseas. Even apparently some of these lines are really tricky to track down in the States, and then you have retailer exclusives that further complicate things.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I think America's finding it really hard. There's a Droids. They've re-released the Droids figure, a 6-inch Boba Fett. So we had them in big. There's like 30 sitting there on the shelves, but I think the Americans are finding it a really hard figure to obtain. So yeah, it's funny how they send bunches of things to some countries and not the others. It's really hard.
We get the thrill out of hunting modern toys. I mean, on the weekend when I went up to Matt's, there's a film coming out, a kids' film. It's DC Super Pets. Right, so it's Batman and his. Anyway, they brought a line out with Superman and Crypto, and I bought that because I collect DC. And then they had Wonder Woman there, but no Batman. So the hunt was on. We went everywhere, didn't we, Matt? To find Batman. And
it was called the internet. Where do we find it?
Yeah, where did we find it? So we looked everywhere, and I had to buy Dira from Toy Mate.
Toy World,
The Toy World, yeah. But you could still, with the modern line, that's it. The Jurassic Park stuff, we've got to hunt around because some shops get some things and some get others.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you get the thrill of the hunt, even still with the modern toys.
No, again, like it's only because I've not really ventured into modern lines that I just kind of assume that it's on store pegs, but it's clearly not the case, from what you guys are saying and from what other people are saying.
Yeah, no, it is hard.
Yeah, a lot of it goes really quickly, or it's just not available, or it's available online and then it just sells out.
And then you got people that go and buy them all up as soon as they come out just to sell them on eBay, which
that's correct.
Yeah.
Which further aggravates the situation. Simon raises an interesting point here about so Matt, something that is obviously something that's more geared towards you. Cy collects Hasbros, and he's getting very, very deep in the line of Hasbro WWF Wrestling Superstars. He recently picked up loose examples of the Smoke and Guns figures. So green card figures.
Yes. Yep.
But and I'm interested to understand if you guys have ever experienced anything like this. When you get these rare figures that are incredibly hard to come by, like in the case of what Simon's saying here, the 1, 2, 3 kit, it's like the ultimate grail for the vintage Hasbro WWF line.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, he's in two minds paying £600 for something, and it might come, and it's a custom, because obviously custom. There's plenty of, like, I don't want to paint the custom toys in a bad way, because there's plenty of great custom toy makers that are getting better and better, but obviously unscrupulous people, passing customs off as the real deal and taking advantage of the fact that there are people that will pay £600 or $1,000 or whatever the case may be for a loose figure. Have you guys ever experienced anything like this where you've got something and it's been a custom and you've thought that it was a legit, a genuine vintage toy?
Andrew is nodding.
Well, not so much I bought something that ended up being a custom, but in the toy shows, there's a fellow who still gets there, and he went. They were recarding because when they started to sell replacement bubbles for the Star Wars cards, and they must have got one in the early days. You could get a CD of all the card backs and the fronts. And they were recarding them and trying to sell them for $500 or $600 at the toy show, and say that they were original Star Wars, the first 12. And I come along and said, well, for starters, the thickness of your cards are wrong. And I said, to find one with such a clear bubble would be very, very rare, and they were all just clear bubbles. And I said, but as soon as you got to the cards and they were bent like that, and I said, these are all just recarded figures, and they got the shits, that was in the early days. I think there's a lot of people who wake up now to that sort of thing, but I believe that with the vintage Star Wars ones, people are 3D printing them. And they're pretty good. So the blue
and accessories.
And accessories, yes. There's a lot of Star Wars vintage accessories that are just new ones. So they're
passing them off as vintage.
Yeah, and then they're just printed new ones. But I haven't officially bought something that went, hang on, this isn't genuine.
No, I never bought
something
anything.
you're mindful of.
Just an accessory I bought once. They were advertising it as a black hole. So, the Sentry robot, Andrew?
Yeah.
So there's a Sentry robot in the black hole, and they said that this was a Sentry robot gun, like an accessory. And I went, I've got to get that. I haven't got one. So I bought it, and then I looked at stupid, you just buy it. I've got to get that. It's a good price. And it came, and I'm like, I don't know if this is exact what I should be getting for this figure. And then I looked it up online and went, you idiot, I've bought some kind of custom weapon because I think at the time Mego just went, just give him this little gun. But they produced a more screen accurate weapon. And I've got a more screen accurate weapon, but it's a custom.
Right.
So I didn't pay £600.
No, but
maybe $50.
That's fine if you know what you're buying.
Correct. I should have probably researched a little bit better, but anyway, it does happen, I guess. But
Question
is that what is
totally Taylor? Anyone collect Stargate figures from Atlantis?
Well, we've got the movie ones, don't we, Andrew?
Yeah, we've got the movie ones. You've got the TV series ones, the bigger ones, the 6-inch line.
Yeah, I've got the 4 main characters from SG1. That's when I've got Richard Dean Anderson and Christopher Teal'c to sign them, and I've got a couple of other ones just because I like the main characters. I don't collect all of them, and I was ripped off on the Stargate.
What was the other show they did around that same time? It was Sea Watch or something. It had Roy Schneider in it.
Sequest.
Sequest, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. That made by Playmates.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a toy line as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the Playmates, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got those somewhere hiding up there somewhere too.
I could get the Stargate ones out and show you if you want, but
Sequest DSV.
Yeah, that's it.
What about Inhumanoids?
Oh God, I wish, Richard.
No.
There you go. That's something we just don't see in Australia ever.
No.
I've been researching them and investigating and searching in Australia, and we just get nothing for these Inhumanoids.
We don't.
But they must have been pretty rare in the States as well, Matt.
Yeah, well, they're not. Yeah, I guess they are. I guess if you look in comparison size-wise, Australia to US, you'd think there'd be a lot, but there's a lot of them. They get broken or they're incomplete. So, they're super hard. I would love Inhumanoids, especially like those big fellas like.
I mean, Inhumanoids is not something that I remember from my childhood, but they look awesome. You know, the big creatures. Like, I don't know if I'm getting these names right, but is it Decompose?
Decompose, yep, that's the big one.
It's kind of got that rib feature, the skull, the hair, and the ribs. I think there might be one called like Tendril or something like that.
Yep, and Metla, yep, they're the three big fellas. Then you got this. Well, you got the human characters. I think there's 3 or 4 humans, and then there's a red sun and a red land, which are more like wood creatures, and then there's a Granok and. Oh yeah, there's a couple other ones. So yeah, I've been researching. I just can't find them. But yeah,
Richard's got a bunch of them. I saw the big figure Inhumanoids in the photos of his collection that he sent through. So Richard's got heaps of good stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It's always interesting to see what other people collect. It's really cool.
I've got a photo of them here actually.
There they are.
Yeah, it's them. They don't have the humans there, but yeah.
No. There's such variety in that line, like different colors, different sizes.
But I think they're pretty fragile, aren't they, Matt? They were pretty fragile.
I reckon they would be, yeah. And that's what Lee's got, the Power Lords there. So yeah, Lee, I've just picked up my first 3 Power Lords. They're very fragile, but there's a couple in Australia that I found complete. I got Argus, the bad guy, and I got what's his name, Lord, the main guy. I can't remember his name. So I've got the main guy, but he's not in great condition. So I've got 2 or 3 working on that line. I watched a YouTube video on Power Lords, and they looked really good.
How you guys going for time?
Yeah, we're still good here.
Yeah, all good. Yep.
All right. So yeah, we've been going for 90 minutes. There's still people in the chat. There's still people watching. So maybe we keep it going for just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You got Matt? Do you have anything to unbox while we're here? Or
I'll briefly show you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to move again.
No, that's all right, Matt. While you do that, I'll just show the guys something else that I picked up.
All right.
Yeah.
So. Like I was saying before, boys, I mentioned that, like the Silverhawks was just a totally random 80s pickup when I was missing out on vintage turtles and other things on Greenie's Toys auction. Once again, shout out Greenie's Toys. Anyone who's watching this who is in Australia, definitely jump on the Facebook group Greenie's Toys. There we go. Ryan's on it as well. So something completely random. I never expected that I picked this up, but I got it. But it was $10, and it was a $10 opening bid, and no one was jumping on it. And I just thought, you know what, I need something out of this auction. So I've got myself a carded James Bond Jr. figure.
Nice. That's very nice.
Now this is something that I do remember from my childhood. I don't ever really remember seeing these figures on pegs as a kid, but I definitely remember this animated series. I don't know whether it was on Agro's Cartoon Connection.
Yeah, I think it was on Agro's or Big. I think it was Cheese TV on Channel 10.
It could have been on Cheese TV.
I watched it. I watched it as well. Yeah.
Did they have a car? They got a car or something, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a red. It was like a red Ferrari sort of style.
Yeah.
Car.
That's right.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So yeah, Hasbro 1991. But what's really cool is the file card is in like a code that you need a decoder to be able to read.
Ooh, clever.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's like overlaid red and blue text, almost like if you wore 3D glasses, you could read it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't anticipate on really chasing this figure line, but I mean, there's like 12 figures plus 3 vehicles. It's the kind of thing where if I see more of these, I'll definitely grab them. Later, Richard. Thanks for dropping in, mate. But I mean, like for a 1991 carded figure on a dead straight card for like $10, like how you not going to pick that up?
That's a really good find there.
So
yeah,
that's me for the day. That's
so
my
cool.
show and tell.
Show and tell. I like it. All right. Who can I blame for this one? All right. I can't remember. I think. Anyway, this is everyone will understand this. Everyone knows this line, and it's just big. It's just big.
Yes.
Playmobil, the A-Team. Oh, dudes, this is awesome. It looks amazing. I'm going to do a video on this because I love the A-Team, and I've been waiting for this. So it was a pretty good price on the old Zavvi, Ryan.
Yep.
So I couldn't knock it back, and Playmobil just doing amazing things.
And your box came okay; it wasn't damaged.
Yeah, it came actually in a brown box, so it's good. I just want to show you these. I don't know, Phil's still in there. No, I can't see Phil, but he might be still there. Look, Muppet Babies. I showed Andrew on the weekend. I got these from the US, original Muppet Babies, like Happy Meal cardboard. They, absolutely amazing. Like I thought they might have been printouts, but they've just got that faded look and they got that smell like of original cardboard. And so Muppet Babies, Happy Meal.
Phil's
boxes.
Still here, mate.
You still there? Hey, Phil. I thought you'd appreciate that, Phil. He actually had the 4. So Gonzo, Miss Piggy, Kermit, and Fuzzy. But I bought all 4, and then at the last moment he said, so I've only got 3. So I'm pretty happy with those.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a real childish type of thing to have, but I'm blaming Opal at Alfie's for that because she gave me that free Muppet Baby. And I've been hooked ever since.
That's so cool.
No, I love that sort of stuff, Matt. Like, I put that like if I saw those sorts of things online for like franchise tie-ins that I really were close to, I'd be all over it. To me, it's like vintage lunchboxes. Like, I'm paying quite frankly too much money at the moment for like vintage lunchboxes just because I think they display so nicely with the action figure lines, but they're so closely connected to your childhood. Like, taking your lunchbox to school as a kid and whatever was on your lunchbox, using that to like make a new friend or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's like I got a $6 million thermos, $6 million man thermos.
Is it worth $6 million?
Yeah, but they're really good. You can still use it too because they're plastic and they're plastic inside. Yeah, and you could take your soup and all that sort of thing, and it's got the $6 million man on it, and something you grew up with, and they do look good next to your figures and things like that.
They do.
Yeah.
Lee's got another question for us. Have you guys seen the Stranger Things figures?
Yeah, yes, the ones that look like the kind of Ghostbusters fright features ones.
Yeah, they've got a fright feature. They use a lot of the same kind of engineering as the old kind of real Ghostbusters figures.
We haven't seen them here in Australia though.
No,
I
seen them on.
I think Pixel Dan had them on his channel.
That's the only time I've seen them is on Pixel Dan's channel.
Yeah.
No, we watch Greg Cork, who goes around does the toy hunts at the Walmarts and everything, and they had the first 2, the girl and the one
11
of the
and Dustin, yeah,
and but even with him, because we only watched him the other day, there hasn't been any new ones on the shelf, so I don't know where Pixel Dan got his from. But we haven't seen any in Australia, have we, Matt?
No, and I probably wouldn't get them either. I just, I'm not sure why. They don't look that well made, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, as toys, they really don't do much for me, but I'm a massive Stranger Things fan. So if I was at Target or something and I saw one, or I'd probably, if they were reasonably priced, I probably would grab them and just leave them on card because from what I remember, the card art was kind of cool. So as a concept, they don't do much for me. But again, I'm a bit of a sucker for Stranger Things, so that might get me across the line on those.
Similar to the Ghostbusters, like, empty cup saying there, that doesn't really do anything for him personally. And it's the same with me. Like, I really like the Ghostbusters, and I got those first 4 figures. And I think if they had released the Ecto 1 out here, I might have been tempted to get the Ecto 1, but yeah, they didn't follow through with the rest of them. So I think they're the only four figures I've ever got from all these retro re-releases.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing I've seen is the Ghostbusters one. I mean,
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, there was the Ninja Turtles ones, which they still got in the shops. Doesn't look like anybody wants them.
Later, Taylors.
See you later, Taylor.
Thanks for dropping in, guys. See you later.
Thanks, Taylor.
And but what I think the Marvel stuff's still in a few retro stuff, but they're in a different scale.
Yeah, 6 inch instead of 4.
Yes.
Yeah. 5.
So and they want like $30 or $40 for them, don't they? Yeah, so they're quite expensive.
Can't knock the originals.
No.
Yeah.
They're just iconic, the original Ghostbusters.
The whole line is just amazing.
Samurai Pizza Cats.
Oh, yeah.
Jake, I'm not familiar with them, man. Are they a retro line or are they a vintage line, or what's the go there? I'm interested to know because I remember that series.
Yeah, I remember watching it. I think it was again in the 90s.
Yep.
And
it was just one of a million different animated series or like franchises that were pretty much just trying to leapfrog the Turtles hype. Like, Samurai Pizza Cats, they just pick different adjectives that would appeal towards kids and put it with an anthropomorphic animal and
biker mice.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
I think for some reason, and I'm an old dude, and I still actually, that rings a bell. Samurai Pizza Cats. I mean, I don't know why, but it does. So I've heard of them.
What about the Super 7 Ultimates Ninja Turtle figures? Ryan, do you have any of them?
I don't. I have been tempted by Super 7 stuff. I think they've just released some Toxic Crusader stuff. But again, it's kind of like, if I go in, it's hard. Like, what do you sort of collect,
And once you start, I can imagine you want to get them all then, kind of, especially in the case of those Super 7 figures. Like, they're beautiful figures.
They announced, I think, this week that they're doing a Ninja Playmates are releasing a Ninja Turtles cross Stranger Things. So no pictures, but they're going to do a crossover. So they're not sure if it's going to be similar to the Karate Cobra Kai ones, where it's a Ninja Turtle with a Stranger Things character, or it's going to be more like, how they get a Ninja Turtle dressed up like a character from Stranger Things.
Okay.
So news come out this week, but no pics. So I'm not sure if
it's like the NECA range. Like, I've seen a couple of the Turtles Universal Monster styles, and I have been tempted by the photos and stuff. But again, it's like a rabbit hole. It's like, well, they're like $70-$80 each, and then once you buy one, it's like, well, do I get all the other ones, or do I just have it as a standalone figure? Like, what's your thoughts on it, guys?
Well, I don't know. Personally,
Yeah.
With Masters of the Universe, I love Merman. So Merman, of course, has been released by Super 7, Classics, Vintage, Origins, and I just keep getting him. I get him all the time. Doesn't matter who releases him. I just love Merman, and so I'll get him all the time.
Yeah, so if it's like a favorite
myself.
Yeah, so if it's like a favorite character, I guess that's like me with the TARDISes. I have like 10 or 12 of them, and they're pretty much the same thing, but they're slight variations, you know.
Well, Andrew can attest to that.
Yes.
Well, I did the same with Batman. I mean, I love Batman and DC, so I'll get sort of a lot of things that are Superman and Batman and my Batmobiles, as you'll see soon. So that's why I even got those Super Pet ones, because it was Batman and Superman. You know, love it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, because I haven't really gotten into any modern lines, I get concerned about if I were to, because with my collection, I don't really have the capacity to pick and choose. Like when I decide to start collecting a line, I want to have everything in that line, or I set a finish line for myself. Like in the case of the vintage Turtles line, I want everything from 88 to 92, and that's it. I'm not going to go 93 beyond, unless there's like specific figures that I want. So if I was to start collecting a modern line, I wouldn't be able to take that approach, because then I would be like, I need everything, and then I'd be running out of space. And because collecting only vintage, and I know, like, I fully get to Andrew's point, like vintage is not a term of like one line. Like eventually, like vintage is like a rolling term. Once something ceases to be in active production, it becomes like a retro vintage line. But like the vintage period that I'm talking about, 85 to 95, like nothing, they're not making anything more for that period. So every time I get something, I'm one step closer. It's not like I'm collecting stuff that they're still releasing and I'm getting further away, and I'm feeling the need to like keep pace and because I don't really want that I don't want to introduce that mindset to my collecting. You know what I mean? I'm sure eventually there'll be something modern that'll be like, you know what, that's just the right. It's just got that element of nostalgia, but it's also just a cool enough piece that I need it, and I'll go collection. Ahead. But I don't know. That's kind of how I think about it. You know what I mean? There's no right or wrong. There's no one way to collect. Everyone's different, but that's kind of how I think about it for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Scott. Yeah.
You've started on a lot of new vintage lines anyway, Scott. So
that's true.
You've got a lot in your basket at the moment.
I do. I mean, so maybe I'm not getting, like, I made the analogy about every time I get a figure, I'm getting closer to the finish line and not further away. But then again, I'm always like taking lateral steps into other lines, so maybe I am getting further away. But the fact that they've stopped making this stuff means that the parameters of collecting are kind of loosely there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I collected a modern line that came out with like a dozen new figures every year, I'd be like, wow, like this is what do I do? Then I would have to make some choices around characters that I liked. You know what I mean, or something like that.
Because you get toy cravings. I get toy cravings, as in such. That's why I have these lines, and I go, like when Matt comes, he goes, well, you need 3 more figures to finish that one, 4 for that one. I used to go get a real fascination for one line, and then I stop because some other craving had hit me, and I'd have to get another, start on another line somewhere, and then you tend to forget about going back and finishing them off. But as I said before, if I know that I haven't finished them off, I'm always on the hunt. You know.
Well, that's a good point, Andrew. Like, we love collecting, but we don't want to ever finish collecting. Like, So, and that's something that helps me like not spend too much money for a figure. It keeps myself in check, because it's like, I could just push the button tomorrow on eBay. eBay's a powerful thing. You can go finish your collection, but do I really want to finish? Like, I want to be collecting. I want to be adding things to my collection, but I don't want to actually finish it to us. So it's like a sad day when you finish your collection. When you're like, you know what, I've got everything. Don't need any more.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and but with some of these lines, that'll never happen. I mean, if like with the vintage Ninja Turtles, I mean, you might never finish that line.
That's right.
No, that's a big line. Yeah,
it is a big line. G.I. Joe. If you ever started in the G.I. Joe, there's no way that you'd finish that line unless you were really well off and had your own museum.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So there's those two would have to be one of the biggest lines. But as in, I reckon they'd even be bigger than Star Wars, because when you look at those vintage lines, there's only so much of it they had in the range. Where the Ninja Turtles had vehicles and the figures, and they just kept on going.
Play sets,
millions
of accessories. Yeah, what big individual figures that had 8 accessories. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's right.
So that's if I suppose if I really get desperate, I'll go down one of those lines and keep going.
Dangerous name.
Yeah, that's a good point, Lee. And that's one thing that is awesome about having mates like I do here that are also in the same hobby as me is helping others complete their collections and doing trades and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not just about adding more stuff. When your collection evolves, you decide that what I've got now, I don't really need this part of it, so I can move that along and help someone else. So
that's correct.
Yeah, it's like a revolving door.
Yeah. Okay, that Jake was mentioning about the BMX bikes there.
I saw that.
32 BMX bikes from 92 to 97. I've got a mate that has BMX bikes as well, and they're worth thousands, some of them. I've got no idea about BMX bikes, but he says he gets
back in the 80s, and BMX bikes were the top. They were really expensive.
They were.
Yeah.
See you, Simon.
Simon.
If a kid had a BMX bike, you knew his family were well off for him to have one of them. And and especially when they were highlighted in the films like E.T. and those Spielberg films that really had him in quite a bit, didn't they?
What about BMX Bandits? Have you guys seen that movie?
Not for years.
Not
since the 80s. Yeah.
It's Nicole Kidman's feature film debut.
Yeah, we know.
So she's got, the strawberry blonde curls. But man, you guys have to watch that movie.
Have to watch it again.
I don't think it's probably not on Netflix now the way Netflix Australia works. But it was on Netflix not that long ago, and I watched it for the first time because I never saw it back in the day, and it's so cool. And it's also a very cool look at Sydney of the 80s because there's a lot of shots all around different parts of Sydney.
Yeah.
So it actually kind of made me think about maybe I've never done this before. Obviously, there's plenty of YouTube channels that do it, but going around town and trying to film some sites.
Yeah, just see the change from 80. When was it made? 84 or something?
Yeah, I want to say mid-80s.
Yeah. And see what the change. Go to the filming locations and see how they've changed.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But we have to do it on BMX bikes.
That's right. There we go.
Do we hire them from Jake?
Do a bit of toy hunting while we're at it.
Yeah.
So we all have to buy a BMX bike from that era, and
BMX Bandits is awesome.
Yeah.
But Jake, I want to somehow see some photos of your bikes, 32 bikes from the 90s. That sounds wicked.
Wow.
Maybe is Jake on Instagram? So
I don't know, Jake. Let us know if you're on Insta or where we can maybe see some photos.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see.
I'd show my mate.
But it's just
all about him.
Like on Stranger Things, they had the It film and all that sort of thing, and they had some had BMXs, but some still had the earlier ones, which we had, and it had the gear shift in the center, like it was a car. Have you ever seen them? It had drive and everything on it, and it had like an automatic gear shift on the center bar, and they had the handlebars, and they were like races. And you could actually, So they had in Stranger Things, I think in the first season, that you could see one.
Yeah.
I remember that. I had one of those.
The big handlebars and the big light on the front.
The big handlebars and things like that. Yeah, and they had the tassels and things on the.
Yeah.
Such a hallmark of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, Muzzer, you got to see BMX Bandits. That's it.
No. He's saying if we haven't seen it,
no,
I have to watch it. Yeah.
I have, but
I've
it's been
it.
so many years. Yeah,
I love it. I'm spruiking it.
It was
So
on
good.
one of my lists to watch, and I don't know if it's still wherever it was. I'm not sure, but it's there ready to watch again.
What we should do is that Scott can get it on VHS.
Yes.
And we watch it at his place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be like a movie night or something, eh?
Yeah. Boris could fit in his little room there and sit down and watch it on VHS.
And then we get up bright and early, and Jake lends us 4 BMX bikes, and we go hit up the filming locations of BMX Bandits and do some toy hunting along the way.
Wow.
Can you imagine? I reckon Scott would be the leader of the gang.
I would take that responsibility.
I'd be the one falling off all the time for sure.
How do you ride this thing?
No,
that's right.
Matt, I'll get one of those BMX bikes with the trick pegs, and you can just stand on the pegs on my shoulders. And we can
watch it.
Perfect.
That sounds nice.
That looks so cool.
Hey, Matt, do you remember those things that came in the cereal packet? You put on the spokes. They were called spokes.
Smoky Dokes.
Yeah.
You come in the cereal, and put them on your
wheels.
On your wheels.
Yeah, I had one. It was like a fluoro yellow one or something, and I've been watching Battlestar Galactica, the original '70s movie, and you know where they have the bikes that had the jets and stuff. So I made little cardboard jets and put them on the side, and pretended that it was one of the bikes from Battlestar Galactica. It was awesome. Yeah.
No, I wasn't lucky enough to get the Spokey Dokies. We did it the old school way in the suburbs. Got a couple of footy cards out of a footy card wax pack and just pegged it onto the up against the fork and just
make it sound like a motorbike.
Yeah, that's right.
We have to keep on collecting shirts.
That's it.
Oh, where's ours, mate?
Yes, I'll have to get you. I'll get some more printed up.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah,
in different colours though. We'll get different colours for you.
Pick a colour. What's your favourite colours?
Well, it'd have to be for Scott. It'd have to be lime green, wouldn't it, for like a Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, the Ooze edition.
Good point.
Ooze edition.
Yeah. Ryan, it'd have to be a darker blue for Doctor Who.
Yeah, pretty dark blue.
Yeah. Sorted.
And we have to have new grey ones because we're old.
The Grey Army.
The Grey Army, yeah.
That's why I'm wearing the beanie now. My hair's just going grey, so I'll just wear beanie. Takes 10 years off my life.
Yeah, can't forget the stack hats. It's funny. That's actually something that I kind of keep an eye out on eBay once in a while because I've always had the idea of getting like the old Rosebank stack hat for the collection. You know what I mean? Just to put in the corner up on the top of a cabinet.
What color would you go for? Like the orange or?
Ideally orange, but I would also be happy if I found a white one because that was the one I had back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the orange stack hat.
Yeah.
We were so tough we didn't wear helmets.
No?
They're just upturned ice cream containers.
With ice cream on the back?
The blue ice cream container, just 2 straps into that. There's your freaking helmet.
We were so poor that my mum just cut my hair just like a helmet and said, there you go, get out of here, son.
Yeah, the bowl cut.
The old bowl cut?
Yeah. Parents used to cut our hair. Yeah, I remember that.
Just like the BMX bike and the stack hat, the bowl cut was a staple of the 80s and 90s though. So
that's it.
Shocking, embarrassing. Yeah, the old orange stack hats. Yeah, I remember that one.
That's awesome.
Bloody hell.
All righty. Well, maybe we start to wrap it up.
Good idea.
We've been going for a solid couple of hours. It's been awesome as always. Before we wrap up, anything interesting going on in terms of videos that the guys watching can keep an eye out for in the next couple of weeks, or anything interesting you're working on?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we did we did one together, Andrew and I, and the Batmobiles. So once my editing software pulls its head out of its ass, I might be able to get that going, because it's just crapped itself again. Good old editing software. So I was hoping to get that out this week. Yeah, and then we did do a Lego challenge. I'm not sure if that was successfully sad, I think, but we'll see.
I think it was pretty good, Matt. We did started off going, Matt, you got to build this little Lego set, but with no instructions.
Yeah.
So see how we went.
Did that? Oh, that's
awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. Well,
did you use like a good curve for reference?
Yeah, you just had to use the box art, and then I said, we'll go for something a little bit harder, and I got this chicken walker set that's really big. It's just like a mountain of Lego. I think we made 2 legs and a bit of a square thing out of it.
Yeah, that was about it.
It's impossible without the instructions. It's impossible to build them.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake. Yeah.
Appreciate it, Jake.
We can't do it without all you guys in the chat. Just flying questions at us and participating.
Awesome.
It just makes it just a little bit more interesting.
Extra special.
And exciting.
Yeah,
extra special.
Sure.
For sure. Hey,
I've got a couple of episodes coming up. Sorry, Scott.
Oh no! Before we go on to you, I was just curious. Did you guys film on the weekend when you did your little toy hunt, or not? Or not then?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's all right. I was just curious. No, it's fine, mate. Listen, Ryan and I got some photos. We're informed on what you came across. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Thanks, Muzza.
Thanks, Muzza.
Really appreciate you coming in.
What about you, Ryan? What's going on?
Yes, I had some downtime last week, so I was able to work through some more unboxing episodes, and just done another one on the crates behind you. So find out more about that.
Thanks, Phil. That's awesome, mate. Look,
so stay tuned for that.
Good on you, Ryan. Look forward to those.
Yeah.
Look, I've done very little since our last live stream. Unfortunately, I got our Collecticon. They got the Collecticon Campbelltown video out. I've filmed the next video, which is the gift box, which I'm going to try and edit by the end of this week and get that out. That was a lot of fun because the item that you boys hooked me up with, I tested it out and had a couple of false starts and got there. So that's awesome. So had a fun time with that. And then next up's the Hasbro WWF review. And from there, I'm just going to keep it rolling. But yeah, I've done very little in the way of editing or whatever in the last week. So I'm getting back on the horse from tomorrow night. And we'll just keep it going. And then before we know it, we'll be doing our next live stream.
We're doing another live stream. I'll host that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he puts his hand up. I'll do it.
Well, I just thought, you've done it. Scott's done it. Unless you want to do it, Andrew.
No, I'm not technically skilled enough for that.
He'll take us back to the 90s.
The date for that one is the 4th of July. So we might have to think about some iconic American toy lines to
Independence Day.
Independence Day, that'd be cool.
Ryan, top of the head. That was awesome.
The obvious one to me was G.I. Joe, but Independence Day is great.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
I might have to watch Independence Day in preparation for that.
There you go.
Pull out your Independence Day toys, boys.
Yep.
That's it. Alrighty. We'll wrap it up, but you guys want to hang around for a minute?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
See you next
Until
time.
next one. Keep on collecting.
Have another beverage.
And cheers.
Cheers.